Carl, Hills, you're up.
All right, so when growing tomatoes, you've got to keep a certain environment of humidity and dryness in here. Otherwise, you'll get mold. These leaves cannot be wet. We can't come in the morning and have morning dew on them like a normal greenhouse would have.
So we don't mist our tomatoes then?
No. Moisture on a tomato leaf is bad news. We don't use pesticides in here unless we have to, and the only time we've ever had to is sometime we get fungus gnats early in the season. But when they're at this stage, we don't want any pesticides going on them because our crop is actually there. So to keep it dry, we have fans all throughout the greenhouse in a circular pattern, and just to keep the flow going in two different directions. The other thing we do for humidity control is we have a computer that senses the humidity inside here, and what we do is heat to vent and vent. We vent the greenhouse, but we also put the heat on, which sounds kind of crazy because the hot air goes right out the vents. But it's like putting a hair dryer on your hair, because I don't want these leaves to get wet or I'll have mold. If I have mold on this one, I'm going to have mold throughout the whole greenhouse.
And right now, the date is April 16th?
So it's a very humid time of the year.
Yeah, and it's pretty cold outside right now. What is about 35 degrees
35
today?
degrees.
So you're spending a lot of money on heat. What are you heating with?
We heat with propane heat, and we have 95% high efficiency heaters. The average propane heater is 85% efficient, so in this greenhouse we got all high efficient things going on. We also have a night blanket that is folded up now, but if the sun came out or if it became nighttime, those would totally close, so we don't have to heat the top peak of this greenhouse. In a really heavily sunny day, they will open and shut all day long depending on how much sunlight, because the computer knows how much sun these tomatoes need.
So the computer will just actually move those blankets back over the top.
Correct.
And you've got a lot of them in here. Blankets all the way down.
So what we've done on our strings here and our clips that we have holding our plants up, we've got biodegradable clip and biodegradable string. So when we're done at the end of the season, we can clip the tomato bottom, the tomato top, and throw it all in our compost pile. We don't have to separate anything. It took us a while to figure that out, but...
And those little reels are 12 feet up.
Those reels are 12 feet up, and those plants will reach 12 feet. And when they keep going, we have to drop them down. So that's what's nice about the reel. We can unreel it, and the plant will drop down. And we aim the plant in one direction when we do, so they're all going the same way. We prune our tomato plants to 1 liter because we have them so close together.
What's a leader?
So here's our leader, or the apex of the plant. So the apex being the top. The apex always wants to head towards the sun. And what we do is we had a sucker here.
Okay, the sucker was right there.
Yeah, we have a sucker in the middle of every one of those that we've taken out.
And so the sucker is going to try to be a leader, and you don't want to have a sucker being a leader because it's going to give you smaller tomatoes, but it'll give you more tomatoes.
It'll give us less light too. It'll give us more tomatoes, maybe. Actually, this is the most efficient way to do it because the plants are so close together.
We got some nice tomatoes there.
And we have some nice cherry tomatoes. This is going to be an orange cherry tomato. So you can see the blossoms, and these are the earliest ones, so they'll just be heavy with an orange tomato.
How long before those are ready to pick?
Those are probably 3 to 4 weeks away.
And where do you sell your tomatoes?
We sell our tomatoes at our farm stand, and we do farmers markets all throughout Boston. So we can get a high price for doing this because we're doing it earlier. No one has tomatoes outside unless you're doing a system like that. So you can get a premium price. So that's the reason why we do it.
So we're about an hour and a half from Boston right here?
About an hour from Boston.
So who has to get up early in the morning?
When you're a farmer, you get up with the sun and you go to bed with the sun. So it's your life, not a job.
Carl, you have some beautiful tomatoes here.
Thank you. Now this over here